So today we're going to be talking about love letters to sellers and what's going on across the nation, as there is a very big debate about whether they're discriminatory or not. So recently, Oregon, first state, put into law that the love letters to sellers is banned. Okay, now first of all, what is a love letter to a seller? So it is a letter that a buyer writes to the seller that says why they love the home and why they're writing their offer. Okay, great. And people have been doing these love letters for decades. I mean, I've seen them in the Bay Area since the dawn of time. Sometimes they have pictures, sometimes they don't. It's definitely a way to make your offer stand out. I know, for instance, with my house, if I was looking at selling my house and I had two offers that were similar, if someone said that they loved gardening and they were passionate about gardening and they just wanted to take care of my garden, they would win. 100%, because that garden is like my children. And there's lots of people that feel that way about different parts of their home. So the state of Oregon has said, hey, there's a very big concern that this violates the Fair Housing Act. So I'm going to read to you an overview of what the Fair Housing Act is. My goodness, right? The Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, family status, and disability. Okay, so the concern is that if someone is showing a picture of their family, or they're showing a picture without kids, or they're showing animals, or they're showing, their religion, that they could be discriminated because of that. Okay? That's fair. That's fair. Potentially. I mean, you could also be discriminated. Like, look, if we're dealing with a serious racist, right? They could look at the last name on the offer and throw it out. And there's this thing I'm going to tell you guys. You guys are going to be amazed. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Let's come close. Come close. Come close. I know it's scary. It's like coming into a monster's mouth. There's this thing called Google. Google, check it out, www.google.com. And you can type people's names in there. So I could be like Bob Jones, Sonoma, California, and I could find out everything I needed to find out about him, because pretty much no one is a ghost. Yeah, I could look at his Instagram, I could look at his Facebook. There's a lot of stuff that you can find on Google. Yeah, okay, let's go back out. Okay, so look, does stopping the love letters potentially stop some level of discrimination? Maybe. But at that point, if we're going to say that potentially could make it so that people are being discriminated against, well then, you know what? Let's go full circle. Let's get in on this. I work with a lot of VA buyers. They are discriminated against because of their loan type. Right? You could also argue that if someone sees a VA loan and they are anti-military, they will not accept the loan because of that. Okay. You could also argue that if I have a VA loan, they could assume that person has some level of injury and is disabled and then not approve it. Okay. They could also make assumptions based off of FHA loans. You can make assumptions off of anything. You can. That's the thing. So if we're going to make this fair, if we want to be fair, okay, here's what we need to do. On the purchase contract, we need to redact the borrower's name. Yeah, we need to black out the borrower's name when offers are submitted. If we have bank accounts we're verifying as proof of funds, black it out. Pre-approval letter, it's a big black box. Yeah, we want to be fair. Well, if we want to be fair, we've got to take away any racial prejudice that could go with certain last names, and we also need to make sure that they can't be Googled and judged on their lifestyle. Right? Because, familia status is one of those things, right? And you can easily Google someone and see. Okay, so cool. We're going to do the offers with a black box. I'm going to add on to that. Well, if we're going to do a black box on the name, let's do a black box on the loan type, because people are totally being discriminated against that, and it's outrageous. It's outrageous. So here's the thing. Do I think that banning seller love letters is a good thing? Only if you do the other two steps. Yeah, you need to black out the borrower's name, and you also need to black out the loan type. If you want to make this fair, that is the tricks. As a lender who sits here every day and knows why people don't get houses, that is what has to happen. Yeah, if you want to be fair. If you want to be fair. If you're not going to go that far though, then let people tell the seller why they want their house. And as a seller, I don't care what color they are. I don't care about any of those, issues. I just care if they're gonna water the plants. And I think there's a lot of sellers out there where they just wanna know that their house is going into good hands. So if we strip away that because we're afraid of discrimination, let's at least go full force and black out those names and black out those loan types. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that seller love letters should be allowed? Or do you think they shouldn't be allowed? Or do you think we should go full circle? Weigh in.